Yeah. What I want to do right now is take the time and not apologize for the clickbait I just did for you. Y'all thought y'all was finna turn this on and see a white boy get knocked out, right? Y'all thought y'all would see a black dude knock a racist white dude out for pranking over up in the hood, huh? Nope. Said you got me. And the reason I don't apologize is because a lot of times to get a nigga to watch you or listen to you, you gotta bait him. Because when you spitting this game, you see what I'm saying? To the hood niggas, game is about trying to get another person. Trying to get somebody for to get you. About getting that money or something. But to us, people that are woke, game is telling you about the way of life. Game is telling you about what's real and what's not. Basically, what it means to be woke and conscious. Because a lot of these Negroes out here in the streets sleep. For the past couple of years now, there have been videos of these white dudes. And most recently, I seen like this, look like an Arab version of Steve Roker. I mean, dude go out there with glasses on, his pants is flooding, he got suspenders. I'm like, this dude just went all out, man. Some token Middle Eastern dude out there doing the most. He really going in. See, the white boys that go out there, they know the limits, right? This dude, he all up in your face. He put his hands on you. And most likely, they're putting him up to this. Dude is a genuine tool, right? That's a tool right there. If you watch the video, you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, there's a video that's on YouTube, and it's most of it's a lot of them. Where you see these two white boys going to the hood. These black dudes are sitting out on the street, on the corner, just sitting there looking like they lost in space or zoned out. Most of them. And basically say a phrase like a pun, like something like y'all need some fire? I got that fire. And dude will pull a lighter out his back pocket. You know, meanwhile, they think he talking about drugs or a gun or something. What you guys don't realize is that while we watch them, we laugh at it, you know, and I admit I laughed at it because a lot of stuff is on it. The reaction is just, it's funny. But once you really pay attention to what's going on, it's not funny at all. While these white boys are sitting up there pranking, while they use the word prank, what they're really doing is showcasing us off. Showcasing us off to the world. I said in a lot of my videos that to justify slavery, and I always bring up slavery not to because pretty much I've never been a slave. My ancestor was a slave. And so, how do I move on from something my ancestors went through? Do I blame my failure on what another group of people did to my ancestors? Or do I take that and say, you know what, I'm going to make better of myself and hopefully never fall back into any situation that my ancestors has to go through? But anyway, one of the justifications for slavery that the white man put in his own mind to justify himself for brutalizing a group of people was that naturally people of African descent were savages. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. Because the day the thug nigga accepts that full blown. See, the thugs in the game, baby, they want to be viewed as savages. Until them Negroes get shot by the police. And then their mama on TV acting a fool, talking about how good he was. But I want you to let that sink in for a minute. To justify slavery, the slave master had to go around tell his kids and tell himself that, well, these are not really human. These are beasts. These are savage beasts, and they need to be tamed. Because I would never do this to a human. Oh no, I would never do that. That would be inhumane to do that to a group of humans. But you got your horse and your goat, you got to tame those things. Those are wild animals. You got to tame the wild animals when they get out of line. And so to rationalize themselves that basically the African people were not basically human. They were beasts. They were savage. The females were sexual. And so for me to rape them, it was like, hey, that's what they wanted. I would never rape another human. But yeah, somebody who's sexual and, I mean, they just sleep around. For me to rape them, they really want it. And so he justified that. And he had to teach the slave sons and daughters that you guys are nothing but chattel, man. Most of the slaves didn't accept it, but a lot of them did. A lot of them start to view that in themselves, that, well, we're not up to par with the white man. We're less than. A lot of us bought that lie. Why did I bring up slavery? I want to read you a quote from Carter G. Woodson. I want you to listen to this. Carter G. Woodson, look him up from his book. He said, when you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. You don't have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go out being told. In fact, if there is no back door, he will cut one for his special benefit. His education makes it necessary. Now, most of y'all got what I said right there. Most of you got what Carter G. Woodson said. Brother Woodson was on some deep stuff right there. Most of you guys understand what he said, but let me reiterate this to make it simplified for you. When you control a man's thinking about himself, you control that man. And so while we let you Negroes free from slavery, and we don't have to control your body no more physically by beating you, we control your thinking. And so we're going to indoctrinate you for 400-something years that you are less than animal, that you guys are savages, that your women are overly sexualized and all they do is sleep around. All they want is sex. And all the men do is go out there and brutalize and terrorize the neighborhood. We'll put that in your mind. And we tell you that over and over again, tell your kids that when they get old, that's all they think they can grow up into. And so when these white boys go into the hood saying, I got that fire, when they actually mean they got a lighter, and you going up to strangers saying you got a lighter or you got fire, and you know the reaction of them, because I have no cigarette, homie. What I need fire for? What I need fire for? You don't see me out here barbecuing. You want to offer me fire, go down there to a campsite and say I got that fire. But when you go to the hood, and you know how these Negroes think because their mind has always been controlled by white supremacy. These niggas out here in the street are controlled by white supremacy. They've been told that they were savages. And in their mind, they really believe that. That's all they can go up to. So what you do is you'll have a white boy go in the hood and say, I want to confirm to the world that niggas are violent by nature. And all you got to do is say a key word and they will knock your head off. And all we got to do is put white boys prank. But they're not pranking. They're showcasing us. To confirm what they have been told. Confirm what we have been told about ourselves. Confirm to their sons and daughters what they told about the black man from the beginning of, I'm about to say beginning of time. Beginning of the relationships in this country. And it's sad that I can go to a certain individual and say a certain key word, and this dude actually be so hurt and so emotional that he want to kill me. A word that I say will make a person want to kill me as a grown man. That's feminine. That's emotional. See, emotional, a person controlled by emotion will be, words will move that person to do that. But as a grown man, you can say something to me, because if I go to work as a grown man, my boss come to me and he's spitting in my face, chewing me out. I might want to kill my boss, but I'm never going to raise hands on my boss, because I know going to work, I got to think logically. And I can't let another man's words cause me to do something while I lose everything. Why end up in jail? Why end up losing my job? And sometimes losing my life. See, they don't go to the suburbs. They don't go white neighborhoods and do this stuff. And then when they do, The white girls and white boys laugh that stuff off. At least that's what they'll show you. If a white boy or a white girl actually do raise hands to them, they most likely not going to put prank. They won't show it to the world. But us as black people, they were quick to do that. And us as black people, or us as niggas, we fall for that. Why am I ranting about this? Why am I ranting about this? Because there are different types of dogs, right? And you'll get what I'm saying at the end of this. There's different types of dogs. Now, if I see a Chihuahua loose down the street, he barking around telling me, you think I'm finna break my neck to get away from that Chihuahua? I'll kick a field goal with a Chihuahua running towards me. However, there's a dog that's been bred to hunt bears, and it's called the Pit Bull. A pit bull does not even have to run at you. A pit bull does not have to even look at you. If a pit bull is across the street and not paying attention to you, in your mind, you trying to stay as far away from that dog as possible because of the reputation that precedes them. And not all pit bulls are vicious. It has to do with how they were breeded. Just as the nigga in this country. Not all black people are violent. It has to do with how they were breeded or raised. Remember, get back to the pit bull illustration. See, a lot of pit bulls, if you raise them right, they will go after a certain thing. They're not vicious. Not all of them. But in our mind, the reputation they have, any human when they see a pit bull, it don't have to be focused on you. Our minds tell us that pit bull by nature is a vicious dog and will kill you and will attack you. And so it's the same thing with us as black people. To the world, we have been sold as we are by nature violent individuals. This black skin puts fear in a lot of people. That when I see a bunch of niggas walking down the street and they not paying attention to me, my natural instinct is, well, let me cross across the street, because if I accidentally rub shoulders with this fool, he have no time to hear me say, oh, I'm sorry. He's ready to throw blows. And while that might not even be what's going on in their mind, what the world has sold us as black people is that we are by nature savages. We are by nature violent individuals. And so we're going to send the white boys to the neighborhood and actually capture that. Capture them in their natural habitat. Go capture the black people in their natural habitat. Let's see what happens when you say a certain word to these black people. Let's see what do you say? They will see what incites them to violence. And you niggas fall for it. And so we confirm what the world has been told about us. And so when the police shoot us down in cold blood, the world has no feelings for that, because in their mind, well, that nigga must have did something bad. If all you got to say to a black person is, I got that fire, and he knocking you out, or some other pun that had nothing to do with anything about you, and you ready to pull a gun out on me, then just imagine what the cops must be dealing with. And so before waiting for the truth to come out, by these videos on YouTube and how they present us to the world already got their mind set up as who was the villain in that situation. And so when we come out with Black Lives Matter, that means nothing. Because the way we are shown off to the world and the way we have to act like, oh yes, I'm a real nigga. And real niggas do real things. Until real bullets get shot into that real nigga. And real niggas get put into real caskets or real jail cells and go real deep into the ground. And then mama want to sit on TV and say how good he was, how ready he was to go to college, how he had a tuition, how he was going to be an astronaut when he got older. Nigga, 30 years old, living with his mama. How you ready to be an astronaut? You living with your mama, fool. Where you get your astronaut GED from? In jail? Time for you niggas to wake up, man. While these so-called pro-blacks is sitting there trying to incite you to a race war, think about this, man. Time to wake up and educate yourself and start to do better with yourself. Because the most feared thing on this earth is not a violent black man. Oh no, they know how to calm them violent black dudes down. They can euthanize a lion. To a lion, you ain't nothing to a lion. They know how to euthanize a lion. That ain't nothing. So the most feared thing on this country, on this earth, is not a powerful or violent black man. It's an educated one. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. Most of you guys don't think about that. Y'all keep getting pranked by these white boys, or should I say, showcased. But go on ahead, brothers. Let's see how long it is before the cops stop shooting us on the street. I predict never. Until next time, I'm out at 5,000. I'm about to eat my dinner. And I hope y'all have a good one.